trash. This trash that I have for you is one from a pair of conservative twins. Maybe you've heard of them, the Hodge twins. We haven't watched any of their videos in quite some time because they are grating and not very funny. And they just really have not a lot to offer. It's like oh boy. I'm trying to think of someone that I would rather not watch. Like who's lower on the bar than these guys? I don't know. We're scrubbing the bottom with these two, but it's a video that seemed interesting when I flicked through it a little bit. So, and it's been requested a few times. So this is Ketanji Brown Jackson implies old laws are unfair for some sex offenders? ? They have big questions. Do you think they're going to talk about the definition of a woman, chat? Huh? I think they might.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Oh. That was fast. That's pretty quick. That was faster than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I scrubbed through this. I must have clicked past this. I scrubbed... Yeah, no, I was up here earlier when I showed you guys the screenshot. Damn. Okay, well...
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word...
That's a really good answer and one you would want from a judge, actually. That was like a really thoughtful answer to the question.
Woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition.
So the woman that doesn't know what a woman is. Did y'all see the choice of words she used? She said she can't because they're not allowing her to give a definition because she's not an independent thinker. She's not thinking under free will. Yeah. She's being coerced to push an agenda.
Bro, what if it's not an agenda? What if it's just like, it doesn't seem prudent for me, a judge, to define what a woman is because I'm a judge. Y'all can talk about that stuff. If it comes to the Supreme Court, I'll have a vote. But, like, it is what it is, man. I'm a judge. I'm not a she said biologist, too. Do you think that's a leftist, like, satisfying answer? To appeal to biology to decide what a woman is? No. No, it wasn't a good answer for lefties. It's not like a leftist coached her. But I like the spirit of what she was saying is fine, right? It's not for me to say. Okay, cool. There you go. And you don't the definition of woman is really just like a person who identifies as such, often someone who has reached maturity, right? Or seems mature enough to be considered a woman. That's really it. Otherwise you'd call them a girl or something, or a lady, or some other feminine euphemism for that, right? That's really the answer to it. Because like even like if you say a woman, an adult human female, obviously that doesn't satisfy everything, but it's also like just not useful. Wouldn't you want the language if trans people exist and you're like, I have no problem with trans people, I just don't want them to change language. Trans people do exist, so language must change to accommodate for their existence. That's it. That's the whole thing. We're not acquiescing to the trans rioters in chat. Any trans people with Molotov cocktails in chat, try to threaten me. You can't, because they're just emotes. They don't do anything. So, aren't we though? No, of course not. You're not. This may shock the Hodge twins. I do not advocate for trans people because trans people like me. They like me like I don't do it so y'all enjoy being here. It's not for you. It may help you at times, it may harm you at times that I bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always good to do that, obviously. We've avoided some debates on the topic for that reason. Shucks an ear of corn. Behold a man! Thank you, Logarth. I just don't... I do it because it just doesn't make sense to be mean to people for no reason. Like, I don't. Why would I give a shit that anyone wants to be how they are? That's fine. That's it. That's like the whole political ideology. It's not even like based on anything. Like, just why would I? Like, when you really get down to it, I don't have like an axiom. It's just like, well, someone wants to live how they want. It's not hurting anybody. Why should I? I don't want to live like that. I'm perfectly happy, sis. If y'all actually did the agenda, I would absolutely have like a beautiful pussy right now. Okay, if y'all were actually pushing an agenda, okay, I hang out with you people all the time. I would have a glorious like neo pussy already, gleaming. It's just not happening. I'm very happy with what's with my entire shit. Like, you guys, if you had your way, I would be the absolute most beautiful trans mommy, okay? I would. But it's just not how I feel. The cornussy would happen. But it's not how I feel. And that's, like... There's no one forcing anybody to do anything. The Republicans are mad lads.
That's why she didn't want to answer that question.
They're a little quiet, aren't they? Oh, thank you for that mouth slap. Love a good mouth slap with my content. You have campaign contributors and lobbyists to appease and constituents to scare. I mean, you guys are my constituents. That's it. I rely on you to pay my bills, but like, I can tell you, I'm not gonna. I will take a financial dip, and have many times, to just stand by what I think is correct. Whether or not that is what pays me is irrelevant.
Nailed it. She's a sellout. Another black sellout. Yeah, they call us sellouts, but no, we're not. I'm trying to.
No, we're not. Everybody else is, not us. Smart. That's the way. That's a cope. A little copium from the boys. That's okay. Everybody gets a little copium every once in a while, okay? You can't. It takes time.
Trying to give y'all guys freedom. This woman gonna take away all your rights and freedoms.
Freedoms? What do you mean? Okay, what if I want the freedom explicitly to be trans? I think maybe one person offers me better freedoms. The freedom to literally exist however I see fit. Yeah, I think maybe I'll vote for that, even if I'm not trans. I think maybe that's a good call. You never know. Something might change. Maybe I'll want to do something that's illegal. Maybe I'll want to be, I don't know. I have no idea what we're going to... Like, imagine when cybernetics become a thing, right? Cybernetics become a thing. Once getting stuff in your body is like a normal occurrence, right? This whole debate's going to come up again, okay? You can't give it to kids, even if it keeps them from having renal failure or something. Like, it's absolutely going to happen. There's going to be some sort of cybernetics thing. It's going to be like, initially it's going to be corporations like getting your biometrics. Don't do that one. But eventually you're going to have stuff. It's going to be too ubiquitous. It's going to happen. A lot of the stuff will be medical use, and then we're going to have that. And then some kids are going to die because a bill targeted at somebody who did something that's uncool with white right wing like middle Americans. They're gonna be mad about that. Something in there. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be birth control or something. They're gonna be like, you can't do that. You can't give it to kids. They're gonna give it to like birth control to like 13-year-olds because it's a progressive thing, and it's like, hey, just put a little chip in. We don't have to be invasive. It's better for your body, etc. And we're gonna have this debate. I mean, just let people live their lives, man. Just let them live their lives. I will be so happy in an actually free America. Like, how much pressure is that on people? I mean, a lot of you feel that pressure, right? Like, a lot of people that are trans, depending on where you live, like, your literal abilities to do some things, play sports, is just a freedom. It's just a basic human thing, an experience that you can opt into. Play some sports with your friends, try to make a team. That's a fucking noble, like, American pastime. and they want some people just because they look a way that they didn't expect them to look or something. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, if she gets the opportunity to. Too radical. But anyway, she was being asked questions about pedophilia. We gotta give her a name, Ketanji. Y'all know this woman. She's the Supreme Court Justice nominee of Joe Biden. She's gonna become the Ketanji. Yeah, that sound like a game. Well, I ain't gonna. Nah, it sound like a video. Well, what's that movie?
Dude, can you please stop slapping his mouth?
Jumanji.
Mouth.
That's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I haven't seen it. Oh, don't look at it. It's him and a rock. Him and a rock's in it, right? Yeah. Horrible movie, man. My kids even hate it. Hey, man, back up. You know you too big of a superstar when you just put anything. Rock in the
Dude, how do they have like 2 million subscribers? They're blasting. They're like hitting the shit out of the table. I don't know what's funny. I don't know. They didn't like the Jumanji movie. I didn't see it with a rock in it. I have no opinions on Jumanji. Renee, thanks for phone.
Hey, woman, y'all need to sit y'all's asses down. Take a break. Hey, let me talk about Ketanji, man. That movie sucked. Hey, Ketanji. All right, so they was asking her questions about pedophilia, but here's her response: is how you should treat, pedophiles who are caught with thousands of images of pedophilia. And before we go to the video, remember, this woman don't know the definition of the term woman. Yeah, but she's deciding how to treat stupid pedophiles.
Why is he whispering stupid bitch? That bitch stupid. Wow.
We are going to treat a person who's distributed 1,000 a lot worse, because that shows that this person is really engaged in this really horrible behavior. In comes the internet.
Yeah.
On the internet, with one click, you can receive, you can distribute tens of thousands.
One click.
You can be doing this for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, you are looking at 30, 40, 50 years in prison.
Good. Good.
I understand.
Absolutely good. I hope you are.
Telegram.
Good.
Allow her to finish, please.
I hope you go to jail for 50 years if you're on the internet trolling for images of children and sexual exploitation. So you don't think that's a bad thing? I think that's a horrible thing.
That's not what the witness said, and she should be allowed to answer this question once and for all.
Stupid white liberal.
Now we're just stopping it there. So the idea here is basically to accommodate for the internet age, right? People who engage in the trafficking of those things, it doesn't make sense to treat them as high-level distributors because it bogs down the system, and it's not necessarily ethical depending on what's happening, right? Because the threshold for it being so high, it means you have to prosecute at a higher level for, like, people that are actually the ones distributing the things, which is at a much higher volume than 1,000 at this point. And so it's sort of about just being able to combat that at a better rate, and it's also about, like, sometimes people just stumble on shit wrong, and it's specifically it's about kids that share images with one another, during their sexual peaking ages, like 14 to 18, like when it becomes like illegal for them to share their naked bodies, like the sort of, what's it called, Romeo and Juliet laws. There's some discussion on that. Now, we could talk about the penal system and how I think 30, 50 years for stuff is bad, even though it's hard for me to really, really say, like, any pedophile doesn't deserve, like, if they're advocating, or I guess not advocating, but propping up and participating in actively the exploitation of children. It's really hard for me to be like, they don't deserve this or that. I'm not a legal expert. It's only a feels argument for me. It feels like they deserve punishment, right? But the way the prison system works, I don't think any person, regardless of the crime, should be treated the way we treat people in prison. Not that they should have, like, a nice time necessarily, but there's a level of human rights that we should strive towards, and it should be, of course, to not encourage recidivism, And you improve those not because you want to help out the violent pedophiles or the murderers, even though they would slightly benefit from that. It's because that most of the criminals within the penal system and the justice system, we call it a justice system, it's dog shit, it's a slavery system. Most of the people caught in the private prison industrial complex as prisoners and free labor, or cheap labor rather, don't really deserve the period of time that they're getting. It's usually financial stuff. It's usually, felonious like burglary or theft of things, or drug busts are obviously huge. I'm not talking about like, or some cases of violence where, it'd be like a socioeconomic amount of like type of violence where yes, it's a bad thing. Yes, it deserves some sort of penalty, but maybe it doesn't deserve 30 fucking years. Maybe it deserves more of a, hey, let's talk about why this is happening. Because not only can you, there's a twofold thing. Obviously, it just seems more ethical and beneficial to a society to help people not go back to prison once they go the first time. Just as a system, like even from a purely capitalist perspective, you want these people in the system making stuff, right? Unless you're the owners of private prisons, which is why it's incentivized. Anyways, from a broad macro level of capitalism, you'd want that to happen. But from the micro level, at the specific slave labor business, no, that'd be good for you. But the other one is you can learn a lot from your community's criminals because you can learn what they need and don't have. And maybe that seems like a very, very radical point of view, but I think if you're a leftist, you tend to agree, like, oh, and maybe you never thought about it, but you can talk to prisoners that have done certain things in your community, whether, I'm assuming we're not going to be able to really rehabilitate some folks. Obviously, there's some people that are far too gone, but a lot of people, again, it's like economic stuff. What is lacking in the community? How can we address it? And then as a people, make that better so that you keep people from causing the crime. Obviously, that's not how we do it in America. We just go, don't do crimes. And then people are like, sometimes I have to. And like, well, then we're just going to put you away and take your free labor. And they're like, that's a chance I'm willing to take. Otherwise, I'll die. And so they do it. The problem I see here is that it takes 3 seconds to make a conservative argument. That's true. I mean, we could make the really easy, quick lefty argument, probably. But, it's just because it's a complicated thing. But yeah, I agree. No, put them to death is really easy to say. So you can get people to be like, yeah, that's an easy opinion. And it sounds right because I don't like those people. And like, who does?
Yeah, she didn't say it, but she's definitely implying that she thinks pedophiles who, in today's day and age, because of the internet, is able to download a lot more images than they used to do in the past when they didn't have the internet, they should be more lenient on them. What? 10,000 pictures is 10,000 pictures. I used to be a porn connoisseur back in the day when I was a demon. Now I'm a Christian. I ain't in all that, right? I've never been able to download, one click, download 10,000 pictures. If you want to download images, you got to right-click it, save. Right-click it, save. Right-click it. Where's this big-ass folder we can just download endless?
Well, that's actually not true because of the way that, like, your metadata works and the way that, like, cookies work. Kind of they're saved, and sometimes that's what they're talking about. And then specifically, again, not the Goldilocks, I forget that we're on the wrong panel here. The Romeo and Juliet thing is kind of what they're talking about, where you have several nudes, like hundreds, thousands of nudes and stuff. That's thousands of nudes would be nuts, but you could probably have, especially on Snapchat and shit. Sheesh. So like, also, who's saving pictures anymore? Is that a thing? For a zip file, my guy? I mean, maybe if you got it. To be fair, you have to do that on a on the dark web, on the places that you would get those things, right? A picture being on your screen, is it being downloaded? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Now, obviously, it's not like intentionally saving it, but yeah,
Photos. Well, I guess I don't know. I'm not. I've never.
You get a file.
Been in the kids. Everything you download, you got to right click that thing.
That's not true.
Well, she said, yeah. I mean, I think she's exaggerating. She's obviously everything you download the internet, you got to right click it. You got to right click it. You got to decide. You got to make the decision. Do I want?
He does not agree. He does not agree. He's like, this is a dumb argument. Markman, thanks for the 100 biddies. Former pig, specifically worked for the Innocent Images department. A lot of pedos distribute files through zip files, torrents, mega drives, etc. So a lot all at once, as often. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I want to download this image. You know what? I don't like this. I'm gonna go to.
Thank you.
Oh, I like this and right click, save it. Child porn photo. You gotta right click everything that you download. Where's this magical photo we can just download hundreds of thousands of photos of child porn? Yeah. Man, you crazy as hell, woman. Yeah, I mean, there's laws that we can be more lenient on, like weed and stuff like that. You can even be more lenient on cocaine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know plenty of people that function on cocaine. I know doctors, lawyers, going in heart surgery, do a couple lines, they good. I mean, yeah. Well, some cocaine will ruin your life. It just depends on the person, really.
Jeez, bro. Okay, he's doing a bit of coke. I think he's doing a bit of coke on the side, which I'm fine with. A little coke. A tiny bit. Do your coke, honestly. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, yeah. Just a few bumps, you know. You take one. Maybe two. I've never done coke, but it sounds like I'd probably like it, so I'm not going to. Yeah, we don't do things we definitely are going to like. You know? I feel like I'd be a big fan, so I'm not gonna. Although I do have this deviated septum. If I just do it on the right side, maybe it'll clear me out, you know?
If you get shit that crack. Oh, you get that damn shit where they cut the damn cocaine with fentanyl. Yeah, you can't function on that. I'm just joking. There's some things you can be more lenient on, you know? Yeah. But child pornography, you want to be lenient on somebody who sees a picture like, oh, man, that's hot. I'm going to download this. Yeah, 10,000. And they got tens of thousands. You know what this leads to? Eventually, if they haven't already done it, they're going to act on it. That's why you have all these kids on milk cartons.
Are a lot of kids on milk cartons? I think okay. All right. The yes, we don't want people, you know, engaging in sexual activity with kids. We don't want the exploitation of them. I think this goes without saying. It's an emotional topic that everybody kind of agrees, like we're like on an emotional level, on a feels level, we all go, yeah, I don't really care to go for bat for this one. Yeah, that's fine. However, that's what a judge's job is. Literally to decide these societal questions based on the Constitution, not based on their feelings, hopefully. Right? What makes the most pragmatic sense? And you're not going to be able to get rid of the human emotion out of it, right? I don't know. I don't know what the answer to fixing, you know, pedophilia, I guess. I do know that not supporting some of the major institutions that continue it is a good start. I also know that treating people that have that proclivity, it seems to be that it manifests in people in a way that they like genuinely feel it. I wouldn't argue that it's a sexuality, of course. I think it's probably more of like a kink, but you like what you like, right? And it's a harmful one. I would rather take the proactive approach and try to prevent people from ever doing it. And if that means treating them with compassion, I guess it's not really a compassion thing. It's more of like, I just don't want them to hurt kids. If the effect of it happens to make them happier people, I'm not going to be upset that someone didn't become a pedophile. You know what I mean? I think it's a pretty good thing. I don't know why it has to be a situation where if you treat someone at all with dignity, it means you support them. It's like, again, not really how things operate. It's a paraphilia and dangerous one according to technical. Yeah, of course. Paraphilia, sure. Yeah, maybe you're right. Paraphilia, but that's not really the words people use in normal language. Maybe it should be though. But yeah, it wouldn't. That wasn't nearly on my list of things to even consider. So, but yeah, it's obviously a sexual deviancy. It's one of the only things that humans engage in sexually that I think would be considered a deviancy. There's a few other things, but like corpse sex, I think, is a deviancy. Animals, stuff like that, things that can't consent, inherently are deviancies that shouldn't be obviously allowed. But I mean, there's also like what's a person experiencing those feelings gonna do, right? Like, I don't feel bad for them necessarily, but at the same time, I think it puts children in danger when we don't address any of it, like from a societal level, where we just go, that's bad. It's like, sure, but when people start doing that shit, I don't think that's a terribly convincing, like, when they're like, when you're to the point when you're like, I'm gonna hurt a kid in any way, especially that way, like, I don't think you're really weighing the society at large's interpretation of your morality. Like, I just don't think that has been a very compelling argument to you at that point. What might be better is if that person had someone to like an I don't know, destigmatization of this is never going to happen really, but just the idea that they could like get therapy for it without the stigma and be like, hey, I'm having this. And it's like, okay, that's bad, so we should address this. And, like, addressing it would be good. But obviously that's, like, humans don't operate in such a way that makes sense. So, yeah. It's super complicated. And that's why, like, oh, you see, like, Twitch debate panels about this shit. It's like, nah, dude, we're not fucking psychologists. I don't know what makes someone want to do shit like that. I just know that people do want to do it. And it sounds pretty reasonable to get out ahead of that rather than react to it, because if you're reacting to it, well, that means that bad shit happened. I'd rather they just had bad thoughts than had bad actions.
Yeah. You think they just got lost in... Yeah. I mean, geez. Yeah, be more lenient on something that's not as... You know why? You know what these people that look at pictures, what they do to kids? Yeah, they should be locked up for life. You download 10,000 pictures. I don't think you should be able... I don't think you should be a free man. You're too much of a danger to the public. Personally. Society, yeah. I mean, I put you in the same book as a murderer or serial killer. I mean, when somebody molests
Emotionally, I agree. Pragmatically... I mean, I don't think I think it makes sense to get it out in front of all of these things. Murderers too. Obviously murder's a little bit more, it's a little different because sometimes those are just crimes of passion and shit like that. But you can, serial killers specifically, I guess you could see a pathology in having health care, for instance, and having mental health care, having the ability, because a lot of people that are serial killers come out of high trauma environments. Not all of them, but a lot. If you can limit the amount of trauma that people may or may not face based on any economic factors, lifestyle factors, stuff like that, you mitigate the risk. Obviously, we're still going to have people that murder people in every society all over, no matter how well everyone's treated, no matter if every single person's needs are met, we will still have people that are bad to us, to each other. So... like, it's not a good argument to just be like, I feel bad. I feel like they suck, and we shouldn't even give them the time of day. Cool. But it's not about them. It's about their victims. And if you can prevent victims from happening, you've saved lives, and that's great. Umadine, thanks for the Prime for 20 months. I like saying Umadine. Thanks for the Prime. It's been longer, but I may have missed a month or two. That's okay. I think you're good. Appreciate you. Cousin's son was murdered by another child. My grandmother, his great-grandmother, paid for the defense to make sure he had a fair trial. Wow. That's crazy.
Not that child's life for the rest of their life is ruined. They're damaged. Yeah.
I don't look. Yes, that can damage somebody clearly. I don't like the idea of calling anyone who suffers abuse their life ruined. It implies that you've been defeated in some way, and that's not the case. If you have been abused on any level, I mean I think it goes without saying here, but maybe we should just say it anyway. It's not your failure. It's not. So it's not a life ruining thing. It's a thing that has caused trauma in your life. But the idea is hopefully that like we're not just phoning it in from here on out, right? So yeah, you're damaged, maybe a strong word. Maybe you consider yourself damaged or something, but I think just experiencing trauma is a human thing, and some of us go through worse kinds than others, or similar kinds. Like whatever you got going on, it's not. I don't like the messaging of that.
Yeah, these people, you should not be lenient on them because there's been advances in technology. You stupid! Man, I was finna call you the B word. And Donald Trump Jr. He left a message on the video, right? What did he say?
Where is it? He says, I mean, you can murder someone in literally seconds, but it's still murder.
That's why I'm saying she's not a judge. She's a politician. And I think, deep down, I think, when, I believe in the Constitution.
What do they think judges are? Like, judges are supposed to take a nuanced approach. They're not just supposed to be, like, shooting from the hip and just saying what they feel. That's not how judges work. I have no fucking idea. I
believe everybody's right to, live their lives. And when we let gay people get married, even though it's
let gay people get married,
more of a biblical thing. I mean, the Supreme Court thought it was against their rights, so we awarded them rights. Look how
awarded them rights.
Far we've came since then. We got men competing against women. We got men.
Oh my God, he's actually doing the slippery slope argument. This gay marriage allowed trans people to dominate sports.
Going in the restrooms now.
Yeah, the reason why I feel like she's being lenient on pedophiles, I think they're going to be a part of the LGBT community.
Oh boy, that's a bold fucking claim, isn't it? That is a bold claim. The LGBT community does not allow such individuals. There's a very small Twitter contingent of like maps that really try to get their way in, but the LGBT communities, of which I am an honorary member of many of them over the course of time. It's not a thing. Not a thing.
Mm-hmm. It's because it is a sexual preference. It's sick. Like gay people.
It's not a sexual preference.
I'm convinced. I would say majority of them, they're gay because that's how they're wired. They're just sexually attracted to the same sex. Like me, you didn't have to teach me to be straight. That's what I'm sexually attracted to.
Now, some people tell you.
But they can't extend that logic to trans folks. Nice. Oh, I just felt a certain way, and it felt right to be this way.
No, it's a preference. Yeah. When it comes to that, some people in the gay LGBT community, they say, no, it's not a preference. It's what I decide to do. I'm never going to.
That's how you were born.
Yeah, no, some people make the decision to be gay.
What? Hey, any of you guys, like, decide to like dudes? Or ladies, or whatever would make you gay?
Yeah. I'm never gonna wake up and say, you know what, I think I'm gonna go out and suck me about 5 dicks today.
Yeah.
I'm straight. I'm never gonna do that. That's not a decision.
Exactly.
I'm attracted to vaginas.
Vaginas. I too am attracted to vaginas, chat. Anybody in here got a nice vagina? I'm ready to stuff it coitally. Oh, well? Oh, well? Do you have a coital vagina? We'll just keep going.
Yeah. I'm not attracted to hairy dick and balls. I'm never going to wake up and say, "Hey, I think I'll go ahead and try. I'm gonna go ahead and try it. I'm gonna go ahead and take a deep."
He's trying real hard.
I'm gonna go to a glory hole, suck a couple dudes off.
Hey, man,
I ain't gonna ever do that.
Like, I don't look at a dude.
That's not how gay folks work, by the way. Not every like gay guy is going to glory holes. A lot of the stigma around this is because gay folks. Not just glory holes, but like being really, really promiscuous and stuff. A lot of gay folks had to sort of hide, and so like there's going to be a lot of repression, and then so you're going to have a lot of sexual expression when you get the opportunity to act out the things that you wouldn't normally get to act out. It happens. It's not a big deal. You should take precautions, though, guys. If you're engaging in lots of promiscuity, okay. Just do so safely. That's really it. Make sure that you are, consent is above board. Make sure you're not being harmful to yourself. Make sure it's not like a cope or something. But, if you're doing so healthily, slurp away. He's getting a little too excited about the prospect. Look, enthusiasm is like 90% of blowjobs, okay? Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he's already met the threshold. Is a vagina a chocolate-covered coochie coo? Asking for a friend. I don't want a chocolate-covered... Okay, look. I'm a fan of the box, right? We like I'm about it. I'm an enthusiastic purveyor. But I don't want chocolate on there. I don't want food involved. I don't want to be eating while I'm eating, you know what I mean? It's like double eating. That's just too much. It's just too much. I'm good. Some people are into that. That's not my thing, man. No sauce. No, only the natural. I was gonna say natural juices, and it sounded worse. It just sounded worse. Even though it's true, 100% it's true, it sounded worse.
It's not a decision that is wired. I don't go out and choose to be straight or gay. That's how I'm wired.
Guys, he's not gay. He's super not gay. He really doesn't want to suck a dick. He doesn't. Hey, you know what? I think about not sucking dick all the time. That's how not gay I am. I'm constantly thinking about how I don't want to suck a dick.
But some people saying people make the decision, which, I'm sure they are, but a majority of us, if you're gay or straight, that's how you wired.
Yeah.
Pedophiles, they're wired that way. They're attracted to kids.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking, that's why she's saying, making the comments that she's saying is because one day they're going to be part of the LGBT, whatever it is. What that acronym going to be? What that letter going to be?
P?
I don't know.
P?
No, man.
P?
Maybe P for pedo.
P?
LGBTQP.
I think they already got P taken, don't they? Pansexual, they already got.
No, they already got that taken. Got to come with something else.
You don't. You don't have to. But they're not going to be involved. Because pedophiles aren't allowed. That's just what it is. Because they're not a sexuality.
How about S?
For what?
Sick. There you go. Settle that for you. Sick. That was a damn good show. Yeah.
How these guys are embarrassing. I'm like a little. I'm cringing. I'm a little cringed out. They have the "Let's Go Brandon" hat, man. 1776. I mean, it's just like it's such a cope. These guys. Oh, man. It is a sad state of affairs. Yeah, that's what I thought. You ever seen someone just so bought, so purchased,